Cristobal Balenciaga, Master of Tailoring, is at SCAD Fash through June 2nd, honoring the legendary Spanish designer and haute couturier Cristobal Balenciaga. This exhibit will showcase over 30 rarely seen garments, illustrations, and photographs from the late 1940s to 1968. The exhibit will examine the designer's experimentation with form, presenting a variety of silhouettes to highlight his mastery and inventive approach to fashion, including exquisite gowns worn by Elizabeth Taylor and more. Cristobal Balenciaga, Master of Tailoring, is curated exclusively for SCAD Fash. Find out more at scadfash.org.
Support for WABE comes from 100 Miles, a nonprofit committed to preserving Georgia's 100-mile coast. A landscape unlike any other, Georgia's coast is home to vital communities and people from all walks of life fighting to protect it. Help keep Georgia's coast flowing at ourgeorgiacoast.org.
Hi, I'm Sammy Purcell, Associate Editor with Rough Draft Atlanta.
And I'm WABE contributor and Senior Editor at the AJC, Mike Jordan.
And this is How Do You Atlanta.
Here's what's going on in Atlanta this week. What's going on, Sammy?
Coming up March 7th through 11th at the Sheraton Atlanta Hotel, we've got the Atlanta Salsa and Bachata Festival. So this festival is going to bring you an absolute world-class show this year. Top teachers and performers from around the world, great workshops, socials, and parties until the crack of dawn. And this year, they apparently expect demand to be very high for both hotel rooms and passes. So go and look and see if you can book those a little early. Try to get ready for it. There's going to be a variety of ticketing options, including individual or full night passes, individual day passes, VIP access. There'll also be party passes include and a lot of other options. So go and check out their website and see what ticket works for you. And you can grab those tickets at atlantasbf.com. And we'll put that link in the show notes as well.
Excellent. Always down for this. I think dancing is good. I think learning to dance if you need a little help with getting the rhythms. Because salsa looks very simple to everyone who's been doing it, but it is not. It is not. It's a different type of way you move when in and out of the rhythm.
Yeah. And bachata is the same. In high school, we had an international festival every year, and our Spanish class was, I don't know if our teacher submitted us or I don't know what happened, but we had to perform in it and we had to bachata. And it was really hard. It was very difficult. And I'm not the best dancer in the world, but I'm not terrible.
Well, and also it's one of those where it's like, if you're comfortable and you've been doing it and you've learned and you do it, it looks great. And the opposite, if the opposite. So you want to get some classes and be around some people who are non-judgy, but I just think it's great. And I always love when couples salsa together.
I know.
It's so cool.
It's so sweet. All right, what do you have coming up for us this week?
All right, beer fans, this is Georgia Beer Day coming up on March 9th. So if you've never heard of Georgia Beer Day, if you've never joined in on the fun, what this is sort of an annual celebration of Georgia's craft beer. And it benefits the Georgia Craft Brewers Guild to basically go out and drink beer from your local craft brewery. And it happens on Saturday, March 9th, and it happens all over the state. So you have a long list of participating breweries. If you're as far as Blue Ridge, Angry Hops Brewing. If you're in Hapeville, that includes Arches. Obviously, your Atlanta favorites like Bold Monk and all the Sweetwaters and Monday Nights, they're all participating. But this is also a chance to get around the state. And if you find yourself somewhere else in Georgia, you can go and have a beer. And what you're going to get is this 2024 commemorative pint glass, 16-ounce, and it is Will Betcher style, which is showcasing full-color art by Georgia artist Madison O'Brien. And so the theme, support Georgia's beer, that's in the design. And every glass you buy will get you, not glass, but pint, will get $1 donated to the Georgia Craft Brewers Guild. So a very good cause, helps us to get more beer into more stomachs. Going to have a good time out there. So get out there on March 9th. That's at georgiacraftbrewersguild.org for Georgia Beer Day.
This is really the juggernaut of events, I feel like, all over the state. That's a big location.
And you get, again, you'll have some who really bring out, the really cool and quirky beers, but it's a great time to go out and you'll see a lot of people wearing the shirts, having the pint glasses. So it does show the full force of Georgia's craft brewing community, but it's a good time too because the craft beer community is also kind of in a little bit of shakier ground. There have been closures lately. So if you have a local craft brewery, you want to support them, you want to see them around next year, go on out there and spend a little bit of money so that money can be donated back to the organization. It's a good thing. What do you have next, Sammy?
So Sleeping Beauty, the ballet, is coming up March 9th through 10th at Gas South Theater, presented by Northeast Atlanta Ballet. So the Sleeping Beauty blends the beautiful music of Tchaikovsky with the sumptuous costumes and lavish scenery, making the imaginary world come to life on stage. So you've probably seen Swan Lake and the Nutcracker when it comes to Tchaikovsky, but while you know the Sleeping Beauty story, you might not have seen this ballet. So this is one that is a little lesser known, I would say, than those two. So it'll be fun to get out and go see it. The story is filled with fairies, a witch, a fairy tale princess, and her handsome prince. It's a magical story. It's perfect for audiences of all ages. So if you've got a little kid who you want to kind of introduce to the ballet, this might be a great way to do that. So you can get your tickets at the link in our show notes. And again, that's Sleeping Beauty, presented by Northeast Atlanta Ballet, March 9th and 10th at Gas South Theater.
Yeah, I'm a Tchaikovsky fan. You know, when my daughter was really tiny, 10 years ago, I used to play Waltz of the Flowers a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just like, it just reminded me of her little like weird self,
Toddler walk?
not really walking well. And it was like more like the waltz of the, broken leg flower or something.
Sure.
But I just thought that was such cute music. And I also think they say that classical music is very good for the developing brain.
That's true.
Shout out to that. This is How Do You Atlanta. I'm Mike Jordan, and we'll be right back after this break.
At a time when information continues to come at us faster and faster, sometimes you need to hit pause and rewind. NPR's Throughline takes you back in time to the source of the news stories filling your feed. Find NPR's Throughline wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you in part by Noom. Forget one-size-fits-all diets. With Noom, you get a personalized weight loss plan that's tailored to your lifestyle. No food is off limits. Enjoy your favorites while discovering healthier habits. Noom's users love the flexible approach, blending psychology and biology to help you lose weight in a way that's sustainable for you. And great news for foodies. Noom just released the Noom Kitchen Cookbook with 100 delicious, healthy recipes. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. That's NOOM.com. Grab your copy of the Noom Kitchen wherever books are sold.
All right, what else do you have for us this week?
All right, we have the Atlanta Fermentation Fest. Yes, the Atlanta Fermentation Fest, March 10th in East Point. This is an event that helps continue to grow awareness about fermentation and educate the community about the history and benefits of this traditional food preparation. So if you like pickles, if you like cider, if you like all kinds of different foods, what else? Kimchi, you love fermentation. So get out here and learn a bit about it. There's going to be a hands-on education experience that you and your friends and family can go and take part with. There's also a portion of the profits are going to highlight nonprofit organizations who are dedicated to local food movements. But you'll see a marketplace. We can shop local vendors with a lot of things from sauerkraut to coffee and even chocolate. Also fermentation. There'll be live music. There will be a Get Cultured stage with a diversity in craft beer panel. There'll be educational workshops and demos, and also some brine hand-dyed screen printing T-shirt stations with tote bags and other kind of things that you can make from byproducts of fermentation. So very ecological stuff here. Also a libation station where you can have a 21 and up tasting experience from alcoholic ferments, again, craft beer, a free community yoga session at noon, and also a kids area where there'll be goats, there'll be barrel trains, face painting, giant Jenga, storytelling, and all kind of ways for kids to learn and maybe explore a future STEM career. So it's a really good event, and it's also in affiliation with the Atlanta Science Festival. But this is again on March 10th in East Point, and you can get more information at atlantafermentationfest.com.
Did you say chocolate is a fermenting process?
Look, if they put it in there, I'm going to believe them. They're putting weird funk into all kinds of things these days. So,
yeah.
I mean, I've had some really strange chocolate, too. I don't know if you.
I mean,
anyone who's ever gotten a
strange.
Valentine's Day gift box has had some
Those
really
two
weird
have some
chocolates.
weird chocolates in there.
But go
That's a
out
whole
there.
new
It's going to be some
experience.
funky stuff, but a good gut health. I do know that. Fermentation,
absolutely.
good gut health.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you have next, Sammy?
Well, you talked about the Fermentation Fest. I'm going to talk about the Atlanta Science Festival, which is in partnership with that event. So the Atlanta Science Festival is going to be March 9th through 23rd across Atlanta. And the festival is an annual celebration of the world-class learning and STEM career opportunities in Metro Atlanta, featuring over 100 engaging events for curious kids and adults at venues all across the region. So you can kick off the 2024 Atlanta Science Festival with Georgia Tech on March 9th at Georgia Tech Science and Engineering Day. So whether you're interested in robotics, anatomy, biology, space, art, nanotechnology, computer science, whatever it might be, there will be activities at this event for you. So definitely check that out. And then throughout the next, I believe it's a couple weeks, there's going to be animal-centric events at the zoo, there's going to be events at Oakland Cemetery, and so much more. You can check out the full schedule at atlantasciencefestival.org, and it'll tell you what activities are good for kids and other information like that. So again, that's the Atlanta Science Festival, March 9th through 23rd across Atlanta.
Yeah, shout out to that. So again, includes the Fermentation Fest, but also just science in general. But that gives you a whole lot of stuff. So things like this, generally I know sometimes some of us have to miss them. We want to take the kids or we want to go ourselves. But it's great to have science be a thing that we can go to and day after day for a good stretch of weeks. That should be some good stuff to do.
Science is cool. I don't know. I think they do this at every trivia event I've ever been to, where science is a category and the whole room goes, science! Science is cool.
Yeah. I don't know that they do that at every
every place
trivia.
I've been to, they definitely do.
We've talked about this. I think you and I are affiliated with a certain community of people out here. Very smart, but very kind of different. Yeah,
that's true.
But shout out to scientists. We need them.
Shout out.
Andre 3000, scientists and engineers, won a Grammy.
A man of many talents.
Flutes.
Flutes.
We wouldn't have flutes without science.
That's
so anyway.
true. What else do you have for us?
All right, hip-hop fans out there, you probably are aware that March 9th is the anniversary for Biggie Smalls, who passed away on that day. Well, March 10th is the 10th anniversary of the celebration of life for Biggie Smalls that's been going on here for 10 years. And it's going to happen at Opium Nightclub. But here's what's really going to be cool about it. At this vibrant 90s era party, celebration of Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. the Notorious B.I.G., it's going to be hosted by Biggie's son, Christopher Wallace Jr., and there will be performances from Biggie's sidekick, Lil C's, who's part of Junior Mafia. If you know hip-hop, you know Lil C's very well. So it's going to be really cool because not only will there be the music, but there's going to be art. There's going to be these cool VIP packages, which I thought was interesting. Tickets range from $40 for just your basic get-in, but there's the Juicy VIP package, which if you know the song, you get the connotation. But with that, you get a complimentary Biggie box, and it's going to have votive candles with Biggie's face on them. There'll be towels. Biggie used to have a towel over his head a lot, and also other swag associated with his lyrics, including Butter Crunch cookies for those who remember the song Sky's the Limit. And there's also even a Sky's the Limit ticket option, which runs about $1,800. But with that, you get a large VIP section for 15 people, 3 premium beverage bottles, and that Biggie box as well. So it's going to be fun. And if you love B.I.G., you should go out there. People are going to be wearing Biggie shirts, a whole lot of good times. And this happens again on March 10th at Opium Nightclub. Get information, tickets at jamesevansatl.com.
It's very cool that this is something that's been going on for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, he passed away a while ago, but it's cool. I like to see that. Yeah.
And Biggie is one of those people who you can go back and listen to his albums, and he really was just so far ahead of his time that his music still works in all settings today. And just this New York rapper who everybody loved. And even again, like you didn't have to be into hip hop, but everybody knows who Biggie Smalls is. So it's going to be cool that they're honoring him. And I think it's just really cool that his son is there to show up and to host the event and for him to see what type of impact his dad had on everybody's life. So I think this is a cool one. And I don't have the money for a Sky's the Limit package, but if you invite me, I can throw in. I have 5 on the VIP section. So hit me up. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, that's what we've got for this week on How Do You Atlanta. For more on these and other events, check out howdoyouatlanta.com. How Do You Atlanta is a joint production of WABE and Rough Draft. This podcast is produced by Crystal Devone with editing from Scotty Crow, WABE's Vice President of Audio. You can find links to all these events in the podcast show notes.
WABE. Hey y'all, I'm Mark Kendall.
And I'm David Perdue.
And we're the hosts of What's Good Atlanta, the new weekly comedy podcast from WABE.
On What's Good Atlanta, we run down uplifting and unusual headlines from the universe known as Atlanta.
And while we may not be journalists, we are comedians, and we'll be breaking down news and breaking down the stories that make you smile.
We're just trying to see what's good, Atlanta.
Episodes drop Fridays at WABE.org or wherever you get your podcasts. I get mine from a guy named Craig.
Shout out to Craig.
Mm-hmm.
WABE. The world has changed, from shifts in power to a mental health crisis. So with all this social change, how do we balance the human desire for empathy, the business need for productivity, and the hope to make an impact in our community? This is a new podcast, The Social Impact Leader. I'm Jeff Schinnebarker. Join me as we explore people doing work a little different. Available every Wednesday at wabe.org/podcast or wherever you get your podcasts. WABE.